ease into our day. I do want to thank Third Way, the Black Economic Alliance, and Winston Fisher for this opportunity to be with you again this year. Over the past 12 months, it's been a really incredible experience. I've had an opportunity to do a lot of great things over the course of my life. Never thought I'd be entertaining, to this point, 15 different people running for president of the United States. For a kid born and raised in South Jamaica, Queens, who came to South Carolina as soon as I could at age 17, fell in love with this state, and never left. That's still pretty heady stuff. Now, I'm not naive. I know it's not my winning personality that brings people here to see me. It's winning South Carolina, and I know why. We are the last of the four early states. We're the biggest delegate haul of the early four states. We come right before Super Tuesday, and as goes South Carolina, so goes much of the South in the Democratic primaries. And 3 days after we vote, Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia vote with their 461 delegates. I got a lot of complaining from my Virginia friends who said they didn't get enough love yesterday. Indeed, Virginia is the South. So for the 15 candidates who stopped by and the others who will stop by, for all of you in the media covering this race, and for everyone concerned about electing a Democrat who can and will beat Donald Trump, here are just 10 quick rules for winning the South Carolina Democratic primary. Rule number one is a key word in South Carolina, and it is opportunity. Families want to know they'll have the opportunity to earn a good life here in South Carolina. Families want to know their children will have an opportunity to earn a good life right here in South Carolina. People are concerned about bringing jobs here and being able to have the skills qualified for those jobs here in South Carolina. Many people feel disconnected with the promise that working hard is hard enough to achieve success, but they want to reconnect with that promise. People want a real shot at earning a good life right here in their home state. Be affirmative, be positive, speak to the economic hopes, dreams, and needs. The key word is opportunity. Rule number two, when you speak to their hopes, dreams, and needs, get out of the ether and get to the kitchen table. South Carolinians talk kitchen table economics every single day at home and in their neighborhoods. It's about the cost of their health care. It's about the quality of our schools. It's about the quality of the roads and highways that we ride on every single day. South Carolinians are realists and pragmatists. We want a president who gets something done and cares about getting something done, not just furthering an argument. Rule number three, don't confuse black with liberal, all right? In South Carolina, I think that was the chairman of the Black Caucus who just said, well, in South Carolina, if you're African American, there's a very high likelihood that you're a Democrat. It does not necessarily mean you're a liberal. Nearly 2/3 of the Democratic primary here is African American. There are center-left, center-center, and even some center-right African Americans in the Democratic primary here. Appeal to them from the middle out on the economy, on the value of work, on real freedom, freedom to control our bodies, freedom to control your bodies. Talk to them about responsible use of their tax dollars. Think about thoughtful ways to apply the Second Amendment here in America. Rule number four, there are 3 types of barbecue in this state. So when you're in South Carolina, choose wisely. I'll give you a hint. If you choose a barbecue that is tomato-based, you have not chosen wisely. If you choose a barbecue that tastes like brisket, you're in the wrong state, all right? Can anyone name the 3 real quick? Anyone not from South Carolina? 3 types of barbecue. Tomato, mustard, and all right, you guys are all right. All right, we're here. It's not even 9 a.m. We're here. All right. Rule number 5, trade matters here in South Carolina. We are number 1 in foreign direct investment per capita from Europe in this country, number 1 state. We have a massive trade relationship with Europe, with Taiwan, with Mexico, with China. The Port of Charleston is the lifeblood of our economy here in this state. Trade wars are not good for South Carolina. Neither is protectionism. South Carolina is pro-trade. We recognize that we're interdependent and interconnected with the rest of the world. We're pro-Trans-Pacific Partnership, and we're not protectionists. Keep that in mind. Rule number 6, do not forget rural South Carolina. I love seeing you. We love seeing our presidential hopefuls in Columbia and in Charleston and in Greenville. But don't neglect rural South Carolina. There are a lot of good folks there and a lot of big votes there. There are a dozen rural counties that voted for Clinton over Trump last time around. That's because most of South Carolina rural counties are actually majority African American as well. There are 4,000 Democratic primary votes in Clarendon County. There are 13,000 African American votes in Orangeburg County, 5,000 in Williamsburg County, 4,000 in Marion County, 2,500 in Jasper, Hampton, Chester, and Marlborough counties. You won't reach them with online pleas for donations or with clever tweets. Half the voters in these counties don't have broadband. Nearly a quarter live in poverty. There's a challenge in finding a tax base to fund our schools in these counties. In many of these counties, only 1 in 10 of our citizens may have a college degree. More businesses are closing than opening, and many are disconnected from opportunity, and they need to be connected to opportunity. They do want hope and change. Go to our rural counties, sit on the porch, have some incredibly sweet tea, and talk to the people there. Tell them your plans to lift up people and lift up communities like theirs, and listen to the people in our rural counties. You will learn from them. It'll make you a better candidate, make you a better person, and if you're lucky, make you a better president of the United States of America. Don't underestimate, this is rule number 7, don't underestimate Palmetto pride, which means don't shortchange Palmetto accomplishments. We are number 1, not just in foreign direct investment from Europe. Pains me to say this, but the Clemson Tigers are actually number 1 in football as well. Some people don't even know Clemson's in South Carolina. It is, and they are our arch rivals, and they have been beating us like we stole something the last several years. But even more importantly than college football, the Darla Moore School of Business at the University of South Carolina is the number 1 international business school in the world. Check U.S. News and World Report. Sorry, Wharton. Sorry, Harvard. Sorry, Stanford. There are amazing, big, positive, future-oriented successes happening all across our states. Candidates need to have a big, positive, future-oriented attitude here in South Carolina. We have a great deal of pride in how much of our economy is indeed a 21st century economy. Rule number 8, learn a little bit of our language and the way we speak in the South. There's an old joke, the difference between a northern fairy tale and a southern fairy tale. A northern fairy tale begins once upon a time. A southern fairy tale begins, you ain't gonna believe this shit, okay? It may not be to that degree anymore, okay? But Southerners do sometimes use a little bit different language than many of you might use at home. A Coke is any kind of soft drink, okay? Frogmore stew is not stew and does not have frogs. It means a low country boil, which does not, of course, refer to someone getting boiling mad. It's a delicious meal. You have to try it. A fish fry is probably the best way that many of us can spend our day. Check out a fish fry. Congressman Clyburn has his big one on Friday. If someone says they carried a neighbor to the store, they actually mean they gave her a ride. They didn't like. If someone says, "Aren't you precious?" that means you're probably in trouble, okay? Y'all is still the dominant gender-neutral term in South Carolina, okay? It's y'all, all right? And you don't need to spot the language, but it's worth at least to understand it. And while you're learning the language, rule number 9 is obvious, but I'll say it again. We are not in the blue bubble. We're not in the blue bubble. If you're only getting your message out on Twitter, South Carolinians will not hear you. If you're only getting your message out on MSNBC, South Carolinians will not hear you. If you killed it on that podcast, I assure you, we did not hear you. You've got to get into our churches. You've got to get into our neighborhoods. You've got to get to the fish fries. You've got to get on those porches, talking to Ms. Jones and everyone else, and learning about what's really important to the people of South Carolina. Every age demographic, from millennials and Xers and Zers to our perennials, those who have incredible experience and keep on giving back to this state. It's so important to get out. And rule number 10, I started with opportunity, so I'll end with opportunity. There are a lot of success stories here in South Carolina: advanced manufacturing, trade, tourism. But the final rule is you have to understand that just like most of America, this great country, opportunity has become concentrated here in our state. 31 of the 46 counties lost jobs between 2000 and 2016. 31 of the 46 counties had fewer businesses up and running between 2000 and 2016. A plan, a vision to bring opportunity to more people in more places, to help people without a college degree and with a college degree earn a good life, that will help you here winning in South Carolina and winning across a Democratic South. Those are 10 rules. There are probably a few more, but you can start there. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, we can take this victory to 2020. That means, this simply means, if nothing bad happens, we're going to win this thing next year. Thank you so much, and God bless you. All right?